graders. Today I'm going to be working you through a problem. I'm going to be showing you how to do another subtraction with the borrowing regrouping modeling. So all you need is your eyeballs and a good comfy seat because you're going to be watching me. I want you to see if you can predict my next move. So see if you can almost say in your head, what is she going to do next? This is what I think. So that's what you should be doing while you're watching this. Not just watching, but actively thinking, oh, I think I know what she's going to do. Oh, that made sense, or that didn't make sense. I have a question on that. So that's what I want to see you doing throughout this. So I'm going to switch my screen, and I am going to take a look at our problem for today. So our problem is 751 minus 364. And as you can see, I started with drawing out or putting in my place value rods and flats and cubes. I put those in already, and you can draw those in when you're doing your problems, but I put the actual place value blocks, what it looks like. So that's already done for us. I'm representing 700s, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 50, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 1. Now remember, I put the bigger number in pictures because I want to take away the smaller number from the bigger number. So now we're going to take away the smaller number from the bigger number. But we might run into some little hiccups, and that's where we're going to need to do some borrowing. So if there's more on the floor, we need to go next door and get 10 more. So right away, I try to do 1 minus 4. And you can see when you try and take away 4, it doesn't work. 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't work. There's no other cubes to take away. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to go next door and get 10 more. And that looks like this. We take a rod from the 10s and we say, can we please borrow some cubes from you? And I know that there are 10 individual cubes that make up a rod. So I can break up that rod into 10 individual little cubes. And then I should have enough to take away my 4. So I'm going to get rid of that group of 10 and I'm going to break it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Whoops. The whole thing moved. 8, 9, and 10. So now this group of 10 doesn't exist as a 10 anymore. I broke it up and I brought it over to the 1s. I don't have just one 1 there. I have 1 plus that group of 10 that I just added. So how many 1s do I have? Well, let's count it up. I have the 1 that I had before, plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, plus 1 equals 11. So I don't have just one 1 anymore, but I have an 11 in my 1's place. Okay, I have 11 individual little 1s, and that's certainly enough to take away 4. But before I take away 4, I actually want to make sure that we take care of looking at the 10s place first. I don't have 5 10s anymore. How many 10s do I have when I borrowed to give to the 1s place? How many 10s am I left with? I'm left with 4. So I don't have 5 anymore, but I have 4. Now I can take away my 4 1s from my 11. That's a lot easier now. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can do that. How many am I left over with? Let's count it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 11 minus 4 equals 7. Oh no, I've run into another problem now. I'm looking at this tens place and I'm thinking to myself, I need to do 40 minus 60. 4 minus 6. Man, I can't do that. You can't do that. I can't do 40 minus 60. So when there's more on the top, no need to stop. More on the floor, go next door and get 10 more. I'm thinking I have to borrow again. And sometimes, boys and girls, this might happen. You might need to borrow twice. If there's more on the floor, you need to go next door and get 10 more. So let's do that together now. I want to go next door to the hundreds now, because now we're in the tens place. And I need to add more to the tens place because I can't take away 6. I can try 1, 2, 3, 4. There's nothing else to take away. So I can try, but it's not going to work. But I need to take away 6. So I'm going to go next door, grab this group of 100, and break it apart into 10 rods. So it doesn't exist as a flat anymore. But in our table, we're going to break it apart into individual rods. 1 or 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay, I broke it up into 10 rods now. Now I have enough to take away that 60 that I needed to. But let's do some background work to make sure our model reflects what our images show us. How many tens do I have now? Let's count it up using this orange color. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I have 14 tens. So I need to make that look like 14 in my model. Right now it looks like 4. I'm going to add a 1. 4 plus 10 equals 14. I don't have 7 hundreds anymore. How many hundreds do I have? Let's count it up using orange. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, I have 6 because I gave one group of 100 over to the tens place. That makes sense. So I'm 1 less in the hundreds. So let's make our model look like that. 6. Now, do I have enough tens to take away 6 now? I didn't before. I only had 4. I especially didn't because I had to give a 10 to the ones place. So I was even less than I was before. Now I have enough. So I'm going to do 14 minus 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many am I left with? I'm left with these 4 up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 14 minus 6 equals 8. Awesome. Now I need to take away in my hundreds. I need to do 6 minus 3. Let's take away 3 hundreds. How many hundreds am I left over with? Just 3. Therefore, my answer is 387. Boys and girls, this example is meant to show you that sometimes you'll need to regroup in the ones, sometimes you'll need to regroup in the tens, but sometimes you'll need to regroup in both, and that's okay. Don't panic. Just think to yourself, more on the top, no need to stop. More on the floor, go next door and get 10 more. And notice, when I got 10 more, I added it in that tens place. I added it to the 4, not the 5, because I had given one group of 10 already to the ones place. So if you do your examples that involve this like double borrowing concept where you're borrowing from the tens and you're borrowing from the hundreds, don't panic. You got this. You just watched me do it. And I know you're going to nail it. So have fun with your math work today. And I hope this was a good example for you. You can watch this again if you get to a problem like this and you want to rewatch it. So I highly suggest doing that. You're going to nail it today, boys and girls. Have fun.